Syracuse falls short of Wake Forest in overtime 2-1 after Bo Von Kempen scored her 15th goal of the season. It was Wake Forest pulling through in overtime. Nico Horning alongside Hunter Caparelli. And Hunter, it was really a back and forth game later on, a scoreless first half, very defensive minded, and then all of a sudden the shots started to tick up. Bo Von Kempen scored for Syracuse, a lot of momentum for the Orange, and then Wake Forest responded, and what a win for the Demon Deacs.
Nico, the second half was the story of this game. Syracuse gets on the board first off Bo Von Kempen's penalty corner goal. Wake Forest equalizes. We go to overtime, and then Lauren Story slots on the game winner.
Mia Schoenbeck, Lauren Story with the 2 goals for Wake Forest after Von Kempen had the goal for Syracuse. For Wake Forest, this is a very important win for them. Jen Averill just had her 450th win last weekend, now picks up win number 451, something that they can take into the rest of the weekend and the rest of the season, as this is the first ACC game.
That's true. I really think they'll be able to take this momentum going into the rest of the season. 451st win for Averill, as you said, and their first ranked win in the season. So hopefully this will be a resume builder going into conference and tournament play later in the season.
Lauren Story, again, the second goal for Wake Forest, as we are going to bring her in here to our ACC Network post-game show. Lauren, congratulations on the win for your Wake Forest team, beating a top 5 Syracuse team. It didn't exactly go as planned, with Syracuse taking the initial lead, and then you guys scored twice. What did you see on that overtime goal to get the job done?
Yeah, I think it was a really team effort by the girls today, and I think it just needed to get the job done, and we've practiced a million times, and yeah, that's what we did. We just came out, got the job done, and it was a good game. Obviously, Syracuse played an awesome game, so props to them, and yeah.
Lauren, top 5 ranked win on the road. How do you guys carry this momentum going into the rest of conference play?
Yeah, I think this is obviously a super awesome win for the girls, and we'll carry this through. We've got another hard game Sunday and then UNC next Friday, so a couple of big ones coming up, which will hopefully carry this through with us, and yeah.
Lauren, congratulations on the win, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
All right, Lauren Story scoring the second goal of the day and the overtime winner for Wake Forest. Something that, again, Wake Forest did not start well from the offensive front, and Story got the job done for Wake Forest, her 8th goal of the season. Granted, she's only a sophomore as well for a very young Demon Deacons team.
She is, Nico. What a goal by Story. She's one of the 3-headed snake for Wake Forest. Between her, Mia Schoenbeck, and Mia Montag, she slots on the game winner for the Deacs to get the win.
And not exactly the fastest game winner as well. Went to review, went off the post, and then she got the job done for Wake Forest. The Demon Deacons take it today 2-1 in overtime over Syracuse. We'll break it all down on the other side. Syracuse's undefeated start to the season comes to a halt as Wake Forest comes out with the overtime win on the road in Syracuse. It was Lauren Story getting it done for the Demon Deacons. All right, Nico Horning alongside Hunter Caparelli here in the Cuse.com post-game show. And Hunter, a scoreless first half. Wake Forest came back in the second half, and really it was their main goal scorers that got the job done for Wake Forest there later on and in overtime.
It was Lauren Story. Again, as I said before, one head of the 3-headed snake between her, Mia Schoenbeck, and Mia Montag. Lauren Story slots home the game winner, but there was some action before that.
Jesse Iceland, Ellie Todd, the 2 goalkeepers, were the story of that first half. Both teams had some opportunities, including this one and a better save by Ellie Todd from Wake Forest, and then the putback right by Lana Hamilton, and Wake Forest shoved it out. They were scrappy all day long, and then a penalty corner went to Bo Von Kempen, and she sniped home her 15th goal of the season, which matched the entire number of goals she had last year.
Matches it, she takes the lead for most goals on the season and goals per game.
So again, 15 goals for Von Kempen. Syracuse took a 1-0 lead. That was in the third quarter, and then in the fourth, it was Mia Schoenbeck responding for Wake Forest, bringing some life for the Demon Deacons with her 8th goal. She was an All-ACC selection last year. And then later on after that, Jen Averill, after her 450th win last week, Wake Forest tried to capitalize, and the outstretched arms of Tane King come up clutch for Syracuse. She took over in the second half after Iceland had the first half, and there is the game-sealing goal from Lauren Story for Wake Forest to get the job done for the Demon Deacons, her 8th goal of the season, just a sophomore as well, and that's something that Averill has talked about, the head coach for Wake Forest. Their young players getting it done. She's not afraid to put them in those positions.
Going back to what we were talking about with Schoenbeck, she played most of the game in a defensive position on the back line, mostly part of Coach Averill's strategy of playing the long game, keeping the score low, and eventually trying to force a Syracuse mistake for a goal that ends up happening in overtime.
And the crazy thing, if you look at this, the shots, Wake Forest, they had their offense firing 15 shots. They just couldn't exactly find the net and get the shots where they would have liked until later in the game.
That's right. Wake Forest, a lot of shots on goal. They're known for getting a lot of shots on goal. What's different today was Syracuse, who's also known for getting a lot of shots on the cage. They were only able to get 6, which is a little low for their season average total, and then they only ended up with 1 goal for the game.
Again, both of the highest scoring offenses in the ACC coming into today. Just a 2-1 game, Wake Forest pulls through. In the first half, it was a very defensive-minded game with both goalkeepers coming up very clutch for their respective sides. For Wake Forest, it was Ellie Todd doing it all day long, and then Jesse Island for Syracuse early on. What did you see as far as the goalkeeping front in the first 30 minutes?
Yeah, big game for the goalkeepers, but I love looking at how the defense worked out for both teams. Both teams going into the game, they wanted to play defensive, play with a defensive strategy in the back, not pressuring too far up. Second half comes, both teams, they adapt, they move more players up to try to get more passing alleys through. We get a goal from Syracuse, a goal from Wake, and then in the penalty corner in overtime to get the win.
And for Tane King, she's been one of the best goalkeepers in the country for Wake Forest. There's that save from King. Allows 3 goals now on the season. She had 1 coming into today and picks up 11 saves in 6 games, but it's Lauren Story who pulls the last goal aside from her as well. There's your comparison. So Syracuse did bring in both goalkeepers as we thought they would, Island and King. Ellie Todd, though, stuck it through for Wake Forest. And they do have 3 goalkeepers that they can shift around. Averill says it's a feel-by-feel thing every game.
She did, Nico. Butterfield, really good in net, but Todd was the one they went to today, and it was a great choice on Coach Averill's part.
As far as Syracuse, a little bit of a lack of offense for the highest scoring team in the ACC. Nearly 5 goals a game for the Orange. Today, just 1. And it relies on Bo Van Kempen, but she wasn't enough. That shows you that's why you have a full roster.
It wasn't enough. Syracuse, most of the season, they've been pressuring a lot up top, moving on a string. I like to say they'll put players up, players behind them will back up, and that's how they usually draw penalty corners. They tried a little more of that in the second half versus the first half, was able to get a penalty corner and a goal off one of them, but it just wasn't enough.
Bo Van Kempen had a couple of opportunities early on for Syracuse as far as the shots are concerned. And then finally, on the penalty corners, this is where she succeeds. And she had the goal, and then Syracuse, a little bit of mistiming there on the PC, which they've been so good at this season.
A little bit of miscommunication. They have had a great amount of chemistry throughout the year. That's why they were undefeated going into this game. I think Coach Farquhar and the rest of the team, they're going to look at this game, look at what they might have did wrong and what they could get better at to improve for the rest of the season.
Well, the Orange do have an opportunity to improve their offense against a very, very tough Virginia team. That'll be on Sunday. Plenty more here on the Cuse.com post-game show. We'll give our last thoughts on this one and get you set for Sunday as well. Syracuse drops its first game of the season in overtime to Wake Forest 2-1. The Demon Deacons get the job done on the road. Nico Horning and Hunter Caparelli here with you inside our Cuse.com postgame show. And it was all Wake Forest there in the 4th quarter and the overtime goal by Lauren Story. Syracuse trying to get back on track. They can do so on Sunday as we get a look at the scores around the NCAA that are coming up here right now. And they are Virginia, that is playing Syracuse on Sunday. They got the job done over Boston College 2-0, a big win for UVA coming into another top 5 matchup here in Syracuse.
Big win for the Cavaliers. They're now 5-0 on the season. They take down BC, who is now on a 4-game losing streak. They started out as a preseason number 8. They might fall down a little farther.
North Carolina, another top ACC team there, up 3-1 over Cal. UNC 8-0 last year, coming off its 8th straight ACC title.
Very high-powered offense. North Carolina, Riley Heck, for ACC Offensive Player of the Year last year, and Charlie Bruder, who led the nation with 27 goals in 2024. Not surprised by that score right now.
So plenty of field hockey going on. ACC opens up here this weekend. Syracuse drops its first ACC game. They can respond on Sunday. All right, Field hockey, plenty of that. There's other sports, though, going on right now. Football is going on tomorrow. Volleyball's happening at the moment in the women's building against Siena. The Orange have a commanding 2-0 set lead there.
Yeah, volleyball. Outside hitter Gabriella McLaughlin leads the team with 123 points on this season. She's definitely a factor in winning matches this weekend against Siena.
And then St. John's on Sunday as well for Syracuse before ACC play kicks off for volleyball next weekend. Steve Angeli, the nation's leader in passing yards, and Syracuse plays Clemson on the road tomorrow in Death Valley. And then women's soccer playing Virginia tomorrow night, and field hockey again playing Virginia as well on Sunday.
Yeah, looking at that football game, Clemson is one of the best defensive line groups in the country. Angeli's going to have to get the ball out quickly if they want to get the upset win.
As far as Syracuse goes, the field hockey team back in action on Sunday against Virginia. Today began a 5-game homestand for them, and this is not an easy home slate for the Orange, facing 4 teams in the top 20.
4 teams in the top 20, high competition. Syracuse is really going to need to look at this game, figure out what they did wrong, what they can improve, so they can continue to build that tournament resume.
And that includes Duke's Brooke Borzmowski, the 3-year starter in goal for SU. She'll be making her comeback here next weekend in Syracuse. And then after that home slate, Syracuse travels to California for the first time October 10th that weekend.
Going cross-country, California forward Liz Klonmacher, preseason All-AC. That'll be a good matchup as well.
That's right. And the crazy thing is Bo Von Kempen has double the amount of points as her. Obviously not enough today for Syracuse. We're not done, though, this weekend as far as the studio shows are concerned. We had field hockey today. There's plenty more coming up this weekend as women's soccer welcomes Virginia tomorrow. And then on Sunday, it'll be field hockey facing Virginia as well. So Cavaliers athletics might as well move to Syracuse this weekend.
Yeah, they might as well. But, I mean, looking at Wake Forest, how they won the game. I think in the second half, they just played a lot faster. In the first half, they were trapping the ball, waiting for Syracuse pressure to come on, and then losing it. Second half, they knew where to pass the ball. Once they received it, passed it, they got a lot more transition from out of that, and that's how they got the 2 penalty quarters and the 2 goals scored.
Very defensive-minded game in the first half. Von Kempen got another goal, her 15th. That leads the ACC and also matches her season total from last year. She has another opportunity to build on this loss from Syracuse, their first of the season. That'll be on Sunday against Virginia. All right, with our producer Griffin Bloomstein, Hunter Caparelli, I'm Nico Horning. Thanks so much for watching here today on the Cuse.com postgame show. Syracuse falls in overtime to Wake Forest, 2-1.